What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm just going to show you guys a real raw what I get up to in a day in Istanbul. So I'm currently still in Turkey for another few days, and then I'm flying back to Dubai on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday today, so only a couple more days. Now I kind of feel like I've seen enough of Istanbul in some ways. I'm definitely ready to leave. I've had a really good time here. I've seen a lot of the tourist attractions. I went out again at the weekends, had a really good night, went to another rooftop bar, saw Galata Port. So I feel like I've kind of seen enough of Istanbul. It's a cool city. So today I'm not really going to be doing too much touristy stuff. So this is not really going to be a vlog of me showing you what Istanbul has to offer. The last video is probably going to be more geared towards that. This is just going to be a typical day as an online coach in Istanbul, what I eat, how I train at the moment, obviously being in an apartment out here, and just basically what I get up to. So kind of just going to show you guys a typical routine and how that would look. So currently it's about 9:30 in Istanbul. I've been out, I've got some steps in. It's a very, very nice day. As always, as you'd expect. The weather's not too hot. So like people sometimes think that it's going to be boiling in Turkey this time of year, and maybe in some places it is, but it's definitely manageable. Maybe I'm just very much used to Dubai now. However, I have felt the weather has been pretty good here, to be honest. It's been pretty nice. So I always like to start my day with a lot of steps if I can. Not always, sometimes it's not always the case, but typically I will go out and go for a walk and just try and get some more steps in. I wasn't doing that so much in Dubai before I left because it was too hot. However, out here it's a little bit more manageable, which has been nice. So been out, got some steps in, went to the park, got a few groceries, and now I'm pretty much going to start my day. So far I've not eaten anything. I've just drank quite a lot of water. I'm going to drink a little bit more now, hydrate a little bit more, and just grab a coffee. So that's normally how I start my day. I am still intermittent fasting at the moment, and I have been doing that now for the past 4 months, basically since I've recovered from my injury. Been intermittent fasting ever since I came out of surgery. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't look back for the moment. Not to say that I won't go back to maybe bring my breakfast back in at some point, but for now, this routine really, really works well for me. I don't eat in the morning. I just grab a coffee. I stay productive. I like to stay a little bit hungry. And then I normally break my fast about midday. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I break my fast with. So just going to make my coffee, just going to get my electrolytes on board as well. They are two staples in my morning. I'm going to show you guys exactly how that would look. So I'm going to enjoy a cup of coffee. Not the best. We've got to work with what we've got out here. So we're using coffee bags, which aren't too bad, to be fair. They're not from a coffee machine, but they're okay. Better than just instant coffee, which I can't stand, but I still do drink sometimes. And then we've got a nice cup of electrolytes as well. I think everyone should be taking electrolytes first thing in the morning, regardless of whether you live in a hot country. If you live in a hot country, I think it's even more essential to take electrolytes first thing. However, we sweat a lot overnight, we lose a lot of water overnight, and hydration is super important. And if you train first thing in the morning, your performance in the gym is going to be massively dictated with how hydrated you are. So I've just taken, these are just ones that I picked up off Amazon before I came. So I normally take the SIS hydration tablets. They're the ones that I've got in Dubai. However, these ones, they're okay. I've taken quite a few of them out here. I generally just drink all my water with hydration tablets in them out here. One, because I don't really like the taste of water on its own. And two, it just makes sense because it's a hot climate. And coffee is something that, again, I'll always start my day with as well. So I always like to try and push my coffee back. I won't just literally get out of bed and smash a coffee first thing. What we want to do in the morning is we want to try and allow our body to wake up naturally without the use of smashing loads of stimulants and caffeine down. And we can do that by getting up, getting some sunlight, going for a walk, drinking lots of water. Then when we start to have a little bit of a drop in cortisol, we can then spike caffeine, which is going to give us a nice release again to keep us energetic throughout the day. So if you can push your first coffee back a little bit, you're probably going to find that coffee will hit you a lot better. You won't get that kind of slump mid-morning or slump mid-afternoon where the caffeine started to wear off. So there's a little tip for you. Coffee, an hour or two after wake up, electrolyte first thing, and then you shouldn't need to eat straight away. If you don't need to, if it works for you to fast for a little bit, then that's something that I would also kind of recommend. So anyway, I'm going to have these two. I'm going to get on with a little bit of work. I'm going to catch you for my first meal at 12 o'clock. So the time is about 1:30 and I'm going to break my fast for my first meal of the day. A little bit later than what I was expecting. So originally plan would be to eat about 12 o'clock. That's typically what time I eat, but the thing with intermittent fasting is you don't have to eat a specific time. People get so hung up and make sure that they break their fast at the right time and they stop eating at the right time. And the whole like 16-8 approach of where you're fasted for the majority part of the day and then you've got this 8-hour eating window. I don't fast like that. I don't live by this little rule book in terms of when I can and can't eat. I just make it work around me. When I'm in a good place, I've finished my work block, you know, I've got what I need to get done for the morning, then I'll eat. Sometimes that's 12 o'clock, sometimes that's 1 o'clock, half one, sometimes it's 2 o'clock. If I'm out, I'll break my fast a little bit later. Sometimes I might eat my breakfast before 12 o'clock. That's rare, but that might happen. So the thing with fasting is just make it work around you. You don't have to follow a specific rule book. You can eat your last meal whatever time you want to before bed. You can break your fast whatever time suits you. That's how I look at it. So we're gonna get meal 1 down. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what that is. So that is meal 1 prepared. We have gone with 4 eggs, some Turkish cheese, half an avocado, some cucumber, and some peppers. So that is meal 1. I've been having this for the last few days now. It tastes really, really good. Whole food, natural goodness. That is what I try and base most of my diet around now. I make things myself, single ingredient. It makes you feel so much better, so much more full, so much more energy. I like to go for a more of a higher protein, higher fat first meal of the day. I find this sits with me much better. So you start to introduce carbs, you can sometimes have a bit of a fluctuation of energy, and that's not a bad thing. That's not to say that carbs should be demonized. But I find that when I'm trying to be productive first thing in the morning, I don't train until after my second meal. So I find just having a higher protein and a higher fat meal 1 works better for me, works better for me cognitively. And it just means that I can then have my carbs and introduce carbs into my second meal of the day, which is what I train off. So I'm gonna get this down me now, and then I'm gonna get on with a little bit more work, and then I will see you for my next meal in a few hours. So it is time for meal 2. It's currently 4 o'clock, so this is quite a late meal 2 for me. I normally would have eaten by now, but again, busy getting stuff done, and my training session is going to be a little bit later today. It's going to be at about 5:30, so I'm basically just timing this meal about an hour before, which is why we've pushed things back again a little bit. It's why I like the fasted approach, because it means that I can basically push all my meals back in the second part of the day. So it helps my appetite, because not once this morning was I hungry at any point. Whereas now I'm getting a little bit more peckish, but I've got a lot of food in which I can get in this short eating window. So we're gonna get meal 2 prepared. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I have for my pre-workout food. So we've got meal 2 prepared. We have gone with 100 grams of oats, a little bit of milk inside, 20 grams of peanut butter, some cherries, and then whey protein inside of that as well. And then also some nice melon to go alongside that. I like to get a lot of the fresh fruit, a lot of the fresh vegetables out here because it tastes really good. They're cheap, lots of micronutrients, just really, really good for you. My protein oats, I could not live without. I would take these everywhere I go. Really, really good to travel with oats. I think protein oats are probably my favorite meal, and they're really good for me pre-workout as well. They sit on me really well. Obviously, this is a time where I want to be getting in some carbohydrates. I want to fuel my performance, and this is something that I've always had pre-workout, which tends to sit really well with me. When it comes to traveling, I tend to take sachets with me. So obviously, you can't take massive tubs of protein away with you. So I just take these with me. So this time around, I've got some My Protein whey, which is pretty good. They give me a mix of different flavors, so I'm able to try a different flavor every day. And that just sits nicely with my oats. We want to be getting in a decent amount of carbohydrate before we train, because that is a typical time where we want to be feeling good. We want to be having good energy levels, performing very well, filling our body up with glycogen so that we can go and perform in the gym. I would like to get a little bit of fats in my pre-workout meal as well, because that's just going to slow down the digestion of food a little bit. So a little bit of peanut butter on the side. I'm also a massive fan of peanut butter. I always just like to put a massive dollop, which is weighed, of course, about 20 grams on the side of my bowl, and then I just take a little bit each mouthful, which works for me. I also get a lot of fruit in pre-workout, as you can see as well. So we've got some melon, like I said. This is a good time to utilize some of the sugar from the fruit, again, to fuel performance. So that's a typical pre-workout meal for me, which works really well. I'm gonna eat this, and then probably gonna wait about an hour or so, and then I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna smash a session. So we've got upper body today, which I'm trying to get a little bit of footage in the gym. Got to be a bit careful. It's a little bit funny about recording. So see how we go, and then it will be back for my post-workout food. So it's 6 p.m. and it is time to go and smash my session. Now the meal's gone down. It's been about 90 minutes. Again, a little bit more work, staying productive, and now I feel like I'm ready to train. One thing I always take when I'm training, so we've got 1.5 liters of water, of course, and then we've got another electrolyte tablet in there as well, and also some salt, so some pink Himalayan salt, which is something that I will pretty much take, again, every single time I train. Again, obviously, like living and training in a hot climate, I'd say it's more important for me to be taking salt than, you know, people that live in the UK. However, we want to stay hydrated and we want to perform the best, then we need to be making sure that we're getting in a decent amount of sodium. All these hydration drinks like Prime and stuff like that, pretty much a load of BS, because you can get the same benefits in terms of hydration from just simply taking a little bit of sodium and putting it inside your water with an SIS tablet that is going to keep you better dehydrated rather than taking the crap they give you in some of these energy drinks or these hydration drinks. So I'm going to take this with me whilst I train. We've got a decent amount of water to keep us fueled, and yeah, hopefully get a little bit of footage in the gym. Yes guys, so that is the gym session smash. Try to get as much footage as I can downstairs. Always a bit more difficult when you're vlogging. I actually took my iPhone, so I didn't take this camera downstairs. Just tried to take as much as I could off my camera with my tripod. So that's what we got up to. The gym session, we just did a full upper body session. So I just did a little bit of everything. And then I finished off the session with a little bit of HIIT. Now I'm still kind of in my rehab. I am in my rehab. I'm only 17 weeks post injury at the moment. I haven't actually done a video on my channel yet about my pec tear, but I will do one very soon. So I'm still unable to train properly at the moment, far from properly, far from being able to lift too much at all, especially through my chest and anything kind of overhead. But we make it work, we adapt, we overcome. We still had a good session, still got a good pump, still maintaining really good condition at the moment that I'm pleased with, but I'm a little bit impatient. I do want to get back to training properly. I do want to get back to being able to lift heavy again in all areas, which we're going to definitely be able to get to. So anyway, good session, feeling good, feeling endorphins. Love finishing off with a little bit of HIIT on the treadmill. Obviously really into my kind of hybrid and my performance work as well. I'm not just a bodybuilding bro, so it's good to get a little bit of that in. And now it's time to cook my post-workout meal. So we've still got 2 meals left to get in. It's about 7:30, so a really decent amount of time to get these 2 meals in. Still gives me a little bit of gap before bed, so I'm going to sleep a little bit later in the moment. So we're gonna get that in. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I have post-workout. As you can see, I'm not smashing a protein shake down me 30 seconds after training, because you do not need to do that. You don't need to get loads of protein on board immediately after training. If you have had a high protein meal pre-workout, like an hour or 2 before, which is exactly what I did with my protein oats, there's no massive rush for you to be able to go and get protein in straight away. The protein that you had pre-workout will act as recovery post-workout, provided you didn't have it hours ago. So that's the way that I look at things. I stopped having a post-workout shake a little while ago. Obviously, again, they're going to be dependent on the day at times, depending how busy I am, but normally I'll get home and I'll cook a proper meal. That's my post-workout meal. So let's get to it. So that is the third meal of the day, ready to go, ready to eat, which I'm absolutely starving, so I'm looking forward to this. It's probably been about 45 minutes to an hour post-gym. It's a good time to get it in. So we have got some pasta, we have got some steak mince, we have got some peppers, we've got some onion, and then we've got lots of spices. So I like to cook with lots of spices out here that I bought about a week ago, and then some cheese as well. This really good Turkish cheese that I've been eating at the moment. Also some spinach in there as well, some frozen spinach. So we've got loads of greens, loads of micronutrients, decent amount of pasta. It looks like I'm eating for 2 people, but this is the thing when you intermittent fast, you can have bigger meals that are gonna fill you up more because there is less of a window which you're consuming your food. So this is a big meal. It's a pretty high volume meal. It's gonna fill me up, but again, it's good quality food. It's unprocessed. Pasta's maybe not the best carbohydrate if you're in a fat loss phase because you don't get as much volume with pasta as you do with something like potato. But for me, I'm not really too worried about that at the moment. So really, really good quality meal. Gonna dust this off, gonna relax, gonna chill, gonna watch a bit of TV. And then I've still got another meal which I'm gonna get in about an hour or so. Yes guys, so it is the last meal of the day. It's actually about 9:30 now. So I ended up speaking to my dad for quite a long time because he called, which again, just push things back a little bit. So we're gonna get our last meal in now. Nothing too heavy. It's not gonna be going to bed too long now from now. Probably going to bed in about an hour or so. So don't like to eat massive amounts of food obviously before we go to bed. It's not very good for sleep and for digestion when we're trying to sleep. But anyway, so we got some yogurt, we got some honey, we got some dark chocolate, we got some apple. I'm gonna mix all of this together and make a little concoction, and this is what I like to normally end the night with. So I'm gonna do that now. I want to show you what it looks like when it's all made. Here we go. So here we go, all prepared. Doesn't look too bad today. We've got apple, banana, dark chocolate. I think it's just 70% dark chocolate, so nice and bitter. And then we got our, I don't know how high protein each yogurt is. I'm not very good at reading Turkish labels, but it looks fairly healthy. It's very natural. And then a little bit of honey as well, just to make it a little bit sweeter. So this is gonna time me over. It's gonna fill me up before we go to bed. And then yeah, that'll be a full day of eating. So hope you guys have found this video useful. This is just me showing you kind of a raw example of the fact that yes, I'm away, yes, I'm traveling, yes, I'm in Turkey, but I don't just travel and just, you know, doss around and go out and do things and, you know, like party all the time and like don't actually get work done. You know, I want to actually be authentic with the fact that I have a very fortunate job that allows me to be able to go traveling, allows me to be able to work wherever I'd like to in the world. But at the same time, you know, there are days where I work hard, you know, I sit behind my laptop for 12 hours a day, get the job done, eat, you know, good quality food, don't eat out, like to prepare my own stuff and just be as real as possible with you guys. And hopefully you can see typically what I eat in a day. This is not too different to what I would probably eat in Dubai, to be honest. It's a little bit different with some of the ingredients and stuff here. Obviously, I'm not able to read labels as well out here as well, so I've got to be more intuitive. I'm not tracking, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how I conduct my day, my training, my routine, all that kind of stuff. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please make sure you hit the like button if you have. Make sure you hit subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you guys in the next video.